Okay, so today I wanted to create this video to show you how to create a course with ThriveCart. This is a course creator and a sales cart platform or a shopping cart platform. It is very easy to use, I have found, and it is very comparable to other similar platforms like Samcart, Teachable, Kajabi, Kartra. It's very comparable, but the pricing option is what makes this platform so much better. Rather than having like a monthly fee or membership subscription style, ThriveCart is a one-time payment type of platform. So you pay for it once, and that's all. You pay for the lifetime fee, and you have full access to ThriveCart. You don't have to pay any monthly membership fees. So like you would with other platforms. This is why I have chosen this platform to create my own digital courses and sell my own digital products, because I don't like the idea of having monthly fees. To me, it just, unless I'm like a big business or a big name and I'm constantly getting lots of sales every day, then a monthly membership wouldn't really matter. But with ThriveCart, I think it's such a good option for beginners and anyone who doesn't want to have to worry about like monthly memberships like that, because ThriveCart still looks very professional and it's very easy to use, and it's just an awesome platform. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to use, some of the pros and cons that I have found and noticed kind of while I have used it, because while it is an awesome platform, there are kind of some little tidbits that I like to I do want to share with you. I want to show you the drag and drop editor that you can use for the course builder and the sales page builder as well. And then I'm also going to show you how to create a sales page and how to go through the process of listing the product, and lastly, how to set up the affiliates options or the affiliate option with your product. And that's only if you have ThriveCart Pro. So I'm going to show you how to set up your course and get started with that. And I do want to apologize ahead of time if you hear kind of some like whooshing sounds in the background. That's just the angry Midwestern wind that you're hearing. So let me get started here. Okay, so I do want to try and keep this video somewhat short. I don't want to take more than 30 minutes of your time if I can help it, but there's so much to show here. So I will try and get through it as quickly as possible, because your time is valuable, and I do respect that. But I do want to kind of make sure that I'm showing you everything I can in this time. So if once you are logged into ThriveCart, you should automatically have access to all of these options here. If you have ThriveCart Pro, there's a few other features that come with that. Mainly kind of the big one that brought me to it was the affiliate option. I will explain it a little bit later when we get to the sales page builder and listing the product part. That's something that is a little bit more down the road. You kind of hear the whooshing in the background there. It's the wind. But once you are logged into ThriveCart, if you go to the Learn tab here, this will bring you to your all of your courses here. If you check out the bundles option, this is only available with Learn Plus. With Learn Plus, you get all of these additional features. The main one is the bundles. This is something that I will probably actually upgrade to down the road, but for now, I'm still working on kind of creating and building up some of my courses. So for now, I'm going to hold off on that. If you go over to the My Student tab, that will show you all of the students you have and a little bit about them. I'm not going to show you that right now, because it will show their names and everything, and I want to keep their privacy. If you go over to the My Team, though, this is also something that's only available with Learn Plus. So if you have like multiple people on your team creating like different courses, or if you have like a virtual assistant or something like that, this would give them access to that. So for now, we're going to jump over to my courses. And when you first get started, what you do is you would need to create a new project, and this would create a folder. So each of these here is a project. So you can kind of see there's little tiles here. So if I click on this one here, it expands it. So it's essentially, from my understanding, I would assume that the new project is based on that bundles feature. So if you have all of these courses, here, like in this project, then I would assume that means that you could sell that group as a bundle if you wanted. So I would assume that's why they have it set up like that. Otherwise, what you'll do is after you've created a new project, you'll go to create course, and this is where you'll choose which project it's under. And then you'd go to course name, give that a name, author, and then if you have a course logo, you can upload that. Let's see, I think I'll just we'll grab this one here. And that will show up there. If you have a profile image, you can do that. I don't know if I have one here or not. We could use something like that too, like your little logo there if you wanted. And then, so something I want to show you real quick before you actually do this. Once you put in your support email, this view here, this little page here will just disappear. So hold off on putting your support email in before you do that. So write your course description. And as far as I'm aware, there is no like character limit or size on how big you can get that. So I mean, I would assume it's fairly decent. I wouldn't do more than like 1 or 2 paragraphs just because I don't know how visible this is to your buyers, but this is something that you can add a little bit too. And then you also have the layouts here. This is something that you can change later, but I just want to make sure that all of that is set up before, just so you don't panic. But as soon as you put in that support email, it saves it for you. So once you've created your course, it will bring you to this, and you can kind of see that course logo shows up here. So this will be the tile image that will show up on your shopping page or your shopping cart page. And then you can start adding in modules. You also have the course options here, and this is where you can change your support email if you have that. If you have a subscription type of course that you have, you can change that here. So you can pause adding new content until payment is made, or disable all content until payment is made. So let's say you have like a monthly membership that you just run all year. If you want them to continue having access to the content that they have already paid for, but you don't want them to get new content until they make a new payment, you can do that. You can choose this first option, or you can just disable all access until they make a payment. So kind of depends on your business style, what you like that way. There's the wind again. But if you want, you can also show this course to students who have not yet purchased it, and then you just put like your sales or cart page link right here. So this would be one of mine there. You can kind of see my URL design here, the my website name .thrivecart.com. So that's what that would look like. You also have like a registration page that you can customize, or like a login page. Let's see if I can kind of show you what that looks like here. So any course you get with ThriveCart, this is what this is going to look like. So if you want, you can edit this. So it's not limited to like just a default. But if you have like different colors you like to use, you can change that obviously. I'm trying to see if there's other things you can change. Yeah, so you can kind of change just about everything on it. Can change the background color. So if you look on the left side here, you've got all of these elements here. You can even add on a video if you wanted to. This is pretty much the same concept or same style that you would see for any kind of the editor options here. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And then I'm going to go back to the save and exit. Let me go back to editing course. Okay, so one thing I do want to show you before you actually start adding in modules and lessons is to change the course layout. So the sidebar option is typically what I choose. You also have a top menu or a good page view. I'm going to actually show you this for now. So if I go to preview, let me actually, I'm going to add in a module so you can kind of see what that looks like. It's my cat. he's kind of quiet. Lesson 1, we'll just drop that there. We'll add in another module so you kind of get an idea of what this looks like. Lesson 2. Okay, so I'm going to save that, continuing course, and then I'm going to go to the preview option here. And this is what the sidebar view looks like, where you have all of your lessons and modules on the left side. You've got like your top bar view here, your next option here. So you've got that there. And then if you choose the top menu option, I'll show you what that looks like. So it's kind of the opposite. Instead of on the side, it's on the top. And you can choose which module you want. It's kind of like a down caret drop menu thing. So you have the option depending on kind of what style you like. I would probably recommend just doing the sidebar because I think that's how many ThriveCart course creators have done. I've taken a few other courses that their courses are made on ThriveCart, so I've seen them use the sidebar method and that just looks better. This is the tile view that you have. You just click into each tile and each lesson. So I think that just is too much navigation. I don't particularly like that method, but it is an option for you if you want. So I will change it back to sidebar, which I think just looks better. And then you have your modules and lessons. Might add in another module so you can kind of get a little better idea here. Okay, so once you've created your modules, you can start editing the lessons inside. You can't edit the module itself. It's just like a file folder that you can use to organize it. So you can click into the each of these titles here to edit them. You just kind of click once or twice. And you can add whatever you want to it, but it won't save it. If you click off of it, you have to press enter or return for it to work. So what that looks like. So enter, and then it has now kept that name. So that's kind of one of those little, I don't want to call it a bug, but one of those like little cons or tidbits that I found that is a little bit annoying, but not like a big issue or anything. It's not harmful. So when you're ready to edit that lesson, you can go into the edit option. One quick thing while we're here though, if you want, you can add in a lesson image. I don't worry about that. It's just a little too much work, but that is an option if you want it. So here is the drag and drop editor style that you can start using. One thing I will recommend before you actually start editing anything in the lesson, if you know what your style is for like your colors, your branding colors, you can change that with the entire course itself before you start adding in additional content. So it'll make all these colors default. So I'm going to change the top course navigation bar here to like a kind of a rosy color. And then this I'm going to change to a white because I think that looks better. Profile link, I'll change that to white as well. So that's the top right. There you can kind of see that, the name. The sidebar, I want that to be like a light pinkish maybe. I'm going to keep the lesson area white, but if you don't want to, this is what that looks like, which is, I would not change that to any other color. It's a little hard to see. You have your progress title, which is that. So I'm going to keep that. Actually, I'm going to change that to white. Progress percentage, change that to white text. I'm going to change this to, actually, I'm going to change that back to white. And then I'm going to change this to that. Okay. And then you can also change your text here. So keep that black. It's fine. I don't think there's anything else to change here. So if you go to like your title styling, see if you can see that very well. Here, yep, here we go. So this is the title size. This is just like the default setup you have here. So you can kind of change that if you want. I kind of keep it smaller because you have your logo option here. You can also change the font. You've got quite a few options here. It's kind of pretty. So you can change it to whatever you want there, but you got quite a few font options too. There's kind of like some handwritten ones, some typical text. I kind of like that one. That's one of my favorite ones. Got some bold ones. So you've got some room to play around with that. Trying to think if there's anything else. Can change the color then if we want. But yeah. Keep that like that. And then that's the title, and you also have sidebar styling. So to change like your active stuff here. So let me see here, your active tab. You can make that like a dark pink. So that's what that active tab is there. You also have an active tab marker. Change that to black here. I think that'll pop up. So I'm just choosing kind of random colors at this point. So there's not really any specific style here. Excuse me. You also have dividers here that you can choose to. So I'll just do like a white. Arrows, which are these here, will be, we'll do white and the completed lesson. I'm gonna do black. Okay. So that's kind of the sidebar option. You also have spacing, and so this is just general spacing. So you have your navigation bar, which is your top. You can adjust that however you want. I keep it small because it doesn't need to be any bigger than that. But if you have like the course style where you have like all of this stuff, your module and lessons at the top, this can be a good feature to update. Your sidebar width, that's what this looks like here. I usually keep that fairly small, but if you want like your lesson titles to be like one line, then you can adjust it that way. I usually keep it small. You also have padding, which you can kind of see here is the kind of like the margins on the sides of where all that text is. So if you want a lot of padding, it would decrease the size of that. So I just keep it relatively small. You also have spacing of your content itself. So this just kind of moves it left and right. It doesn't really change a huge amount. But you do also have your content width. So like, let's say you have a lot of written text, you may want to kind of decrease the width of your content there. You can kind of space it more in the middle if you want to. So you can kind of decrease the width of that so it doesn't look quite so big or difficult to keep track of. You can also just make your content width a little bit wider. So it depends on what style you like. I'm gonna actually make that a little bit wider. But that kind of gives you an idea there. So that gives you an idea of the default setup that you can do. Now I'm going to do the drag and drop elements that you have here. So I'm going to try and get through it kind of quickly so you get an idea. You have your headings here. You for your default, you always have a heading put in place here. You also have just a text, which you can use like for paragraphs there. So you already have these two set. If you do drag and drop here, this will show you the file option here. So you can change this if you want. You can even change the text of here. But you can change the link color if you want. So you can kind of play with that. You can also, let's see here. So you can also like hide the image if you want, or you can remove the file name, file info. So you can kind of adjust that if you want. If you only want like just the file name, you've got that there. So I'll save that there, and then, so I don't know why it did that. I had this issue the other day where I removed the image option and it just made a big bubble like that. So I'm not sure why it did that, but you can always check on the front end of things too to see how it looks to your students. You can do that like with the preview option. So one thing that I think ThriveCart is missing with how they have things set up is they don't host like files or videos on their platform. So you'll have to have like a third party to do that. So what I mean by this is like if you have a file, instead of just uploading the file to ThriveCart and then your students can just download it from there, what you'll have to do is you have to use like a third party for them to access it. So this will look like Dropbox. So if you have like the cloud storage or something, Dropbox, you can get you can store your content on there, and then you can create a link for your students to access their stuff from that, or like a Google Drive or whatever you happen to have. You would create a link and they can access the file through that link. So it's kind of one of those like little I don't want to call it a bug, but one of those features that ThriveCart is lacking. But to me, it's not a significant issue because it's still available. It's just not as easily integrated. It's not like perfected. Other course platforms, I believe you can just download it straight into the platform. Sometimes it takes a while, because for a while I was using Teachable to create a course. Didn't really like it, but it did have the feature where you could upload content on there, like files, videos, things like that. But for me, I found it took forever to actually upload it. So there's pros and cons to this feature, but I do want you to be aware of it, that if this is like a make or break for you, then maybe ThriveCart isn't right for you, but it's good to know. So, however, images, you can actually, those are one of the few things you can upload and just store on ThriveCart. I don't know if it's just like specific file size that they don't want to store in here or not. But I believe it helps keep the price of the platform cheaper for customers. So I think there's pros and cons to it, but I do want you to be aware of it. So that's the file option here. You can change like the border, so you can make it rounded or square. Now it's kind of hard to see. Make that black so you can kind of see. Here you go. So that's what that looks like. You can also increase the border size. You can kind of see that better. But that is the download or the file option here, or download, I guess. And you also have a button option. So you can, same thing here, you would add in a link to go to like a website, or if you have like a download option, it would just take you to that. You can also use like a custom image if you want. I wouldn't necessarily do that because you can just put in a picture if you want. But the button, you can make it full width or standard. You can make it rounded or squared. Up to you. You can increase the font size. One thing about adjusting font size is it has a slider bar option, which I don't love, but is not really a make or break deal for me. So if you want to increase your font, you'll have to be kind of slow and careful about it. That's one downside. Excuse me. But for the most part, it's pretty minimal. You can also increase your text padding. So if you want like a wider button, you can have it that way. You can change your font just like you can for pretty much anything else. You can align the button left, right, or center. And that's pretty much that option there. So that's the button. We've already done heading and text. Image. So image here, you can kind of see I've already uploaded all of these images here. So I'll just use this one here. Use image. And this is kind of what that looks like here. So not every image looks super great depending on its size, so you may want to go in Canva and kind of adjust your pixel settings on that to make it a little bit clearer. I don't know how well it how good of quality it saves on ThriveCart when it uploads it here, but that is an option you have here to adjust the size of it. But you may just need to use like Canva, which is a free design software if you're not sure what that is. But it's a software that you can use to try to change the quality of your images if you want. You can also just upload it as is and not worry about it. Trying to think. So you can adjust the size with the slider bar. You can also do 2 images instead of 1. And they're pretty much a 50-50 divide on the size. You can also do image radius, so if you want it to be rounded, you can. You can also make it squared. You also have horizontal spacing if you do the 2 pictures option. And I think that's about all you can adjust on the picture, so I'm gonna make that a little smaller. So that's the image, and then video. Here is where you'll have to use an embed code. And you can adjust the video size here as well. So what I say by embed code is you'll have to, again, use a third-party option here. So if you have a video on Dropbox, you can use that, or you can use YouTube, and that's a free option that you would use. That's actually what I use, and I would recommend it. It's a little bit easier. You can adjust the quality of your video on YouTube fairly easily, but you'll want to mark it as unlisted, so the content on your course is exclusive. But I will kind of show you how to do that here. So let me go over to my YouTube thing here. Okay, so this is one of the videos that I used here for one of my Pinterest courses. So what you would do here for any video that you have, you would upload it, and you would want to upload it as unlisted, so it looks like it's exclusive content on your course. But it's up to you. It doesn't have to be exclusive. It can be whatever you want. You can also embed other people's videos as well. If I would always make sure you have their permission before you do that, but that is an option if you want to add in additional content. So you would go to the share option here, the embed option, and then you can just copy here or select everything, copy. And also something that you can do too is if you have a certain part of the video where you want to start, you can hit the click. You can click that box and start wherever you want. So like maybe say you want 50 seconds in, when your student plays the video, it will jump to that part of the video. So you don't have to scroll ahead. So there's an option there. You want to copy and go back over to your course, to ThriveCart here. And once you embed, use that embed code, that will show up here. So you can adjust that however you want. You can also adjust spacing kind of however you want. I don't usually mess with that too much. But you can also add in text on the side. I don't typically do this because I don't find that it works all that great. There's actually an alternative option if you want text on the side of your video or images. So I will kind of show you what that looks like here. But I'm gonna decrease that because that's huge font. There's that wind again. Okay, so your alternative option here to so instead of using the video option here, you can do columns, and you can adjust your width however you want. You can also adjust the size of your columns here. Instead of having a 50-50 divide, you could do like 60-40, 70-30, kind of however you want there. And then what you'll do is you will drag and drop in different elements. So I'm going to drop, here we go. So I drop in a video in here, use that, actually I can probably just paste that same embed code. And then you're going to add in text here. Okay, so here's where you can actually create, adjust your size here, and then obviously the video I want to make a little bit bigger. So this is an alternative option to using just the video and text font here. This is something that I've actually recently discovered is a little bit different. So this is a better alternative to the video feature there. So that kind of gives you an idea of that. And speaking of columns, like I just showed you, you can actually add in anything you want. And you can also add in as many columns as you want. So like, let's say you want a bullet option. So I'm going to drag and drop the bullets. Make a bulleted list. Unfortunately, I don't think you have like a sub bullet option. It's just single bullets, but you can use the text feature for that, or the text element. Trying to see if there's anything else. That's pretty much it there. So those are the columns, and then divider. This is really nice to have for kind of separating your content. You can kind of see here how it divides it. I'm going to change that to pink. You can increase the size, which means the thickness of it. I don't usually do too thick. You can also change to dotted or dashed lines. So you have that option. And if you, that's kind of what it looks like there. So that is an option here. You can pretty much put them wherever you want. And then if you go to the FAQ option here, so you won't be able to, excuse me, you won't be able to edit it here. You'll have to go over to the edit FAQ on the sidebar. This is where you're going to add in your question. and fill in your answer. And then you can add in multiple ones. So here is question 2. Cannot spell here today. Here is answer 2. You'll save that, and then you'll have the kind of that drop down arrow option here. You can also adjust the style of your questions. So instead of having it joined together like that, I don't really like the way that looks. I honestly prefer it to be separated. And you can change like the background color too. You can also make it rounded or squared. But I want to make this white, maybe. We'll do black actually. Question color, you can do, we'll do black, and then we'll do white for the answer. You can increase the font size too, same thing. So you have something to play with that. But I probably wouldn't necessarily use this too much in the course creator. I'd probably use this more like on the sales page option. So, but that's what that looks like for the FAQs. You also have HTML code. And this is actually where you can add in kind of any kind of custom HTML. I'm going to actually grab a link from my email so I can share that real quick. So let me grab that here. Okay, so over on my email here, I use ConvertKit, which is actually now Kit. I use Kit to use that for my email marketing. So what you do is, if that's what you're using, you go to Publish, go over to HTML code, you'll copy that, go back to ThriveCart, and then you'll put your code in here. Now, I don't think you're able to see that on the back end here, but if I'm gonna actually publish that and then see if I can show you that here. So if we go to Preview, that will show up here at the bottom, I think. Let's see. Okay, so I know why that last one didn't work. It was because it was a pop-up, not just a regular form. So I actually used this one here because it's just a regular form. It's not pop-up like the other one was. So that's why it didn't work. But it did actually show up a second ago. But what you'll do, again, go to Publish, HTML, copy your code, drop it in your lesson. I'm gonna pop here. And then drop it in here. And you're not going to see it on the back end. On your end, you'll see it on the front end. So this is what will look like here. But that kind of gives you an idea. And if you go to the next one here. So I'm sure that works pretty much for everyone. I'm going to actually see if I can show you what that looks like with like a podcast episode. So let me go over to that real quick so you get an idea. Okay, so if you go over to Apple Podcasts, what you can do is any episode you want to share, you'll go to the more option button, copy embed code, and it will show copied. So you can do this kind of for anything. I wouldn't necessarily, like if it's not your podcast, I wouldn't add it to your course without their permission. So I'm just showing you here what that looks like. But if you have your own podcast and you want to add some of that content in there, you can just embed it in directly. To make that a little easier. So let me see if I can kind of show you what that looks like. And then publish and then refresh it so you can kind of see it on the front end, and it will show up here, and just like that you have it right here. So if you don't already listen to Amy Porterfield, she's a great entrepreneur, definitely recommend. She actually has a course about how to create courses, so it's very cool. But if you want, you can add in like podcast episodes, you can add in like individual ones, or you can just add in like the latest. So if you want to add in like a specific one, you would go to this one, like whichever one you want, and then copy the embed code and use it that way. So that makes that a bit easier. I know we're kind of running over 30 minutes. I'm going to try and make it a little bit quicker because we still have something else to show. You also have a content box here, which I don't really use this much. So I don't know really how helpful this is. But yeah, I don't honestly use this much. So I think though you can use this as like you can add in like a header if you want. So let me see if I can grab that real quick. Show you what that might look like. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, so if you want to like add in an image header to your course, you can do that. And so that looks a little bit better, I think. So if you want that like at the top of your lesson, you can do that. So I think it looks a little bit better that way. But I don't really use content blocks for much else. And then I showed you what columns looks like. You have anywhere from 2 to 4. And again, you can also play with the width on that as well. So that's pretty much everything you need to know to set up your lessons there. Yeah, I think that was pretty much everything. So if you're not ready to finish a lesson, you can always just save it as a draft, or you can hit publish. So you can see here, this is now draft. And then if you're ready to publish it, you hit publish. And let's see. And then it will automatically take you here. That should actually show up as published in a minute, but that kind of gives you an idea of what that would look like. So when you're ready to list your course as ready to sell, what you'll do, go ahead. One thing I do want to tell you really quickly though, before you start creating your sales page. So one thing I've noticed is that if I leave ThriveCart like on my computer and I'm I step away from my computer for a bit, usually like several hours or usually a day or two from not back at my computer. I've noticed that if I don't do the save option here, sometimes it doesn't always save the whole thing because it will like log you out. So typically what I will do is I will sometimes open another tab, log back in, go back into this tab and save it. So if you ever have that issue, that is sometimes a little bit of a workaround to help with that, but I do want you to be aware of it. That is one of the little glitches I think that sometimes ThriveCart has issues with, but it's because it logs you out and it hasn't updated on your computer yet, so it hasn't saved it. So if you have an issue, again, open a new tab, log into ThriveCart from that tab, go back to this tab, and then save it, and hopefully that should avoid any issues. So you can go to the next button if you need to change anything here, you can. One other thing you can set up is behavior rules, and this is typically where you can add in your email marketing system. So if they get access to this course or any of these options here, you'll integrate your email marketing system to here. I just use ConvertKit, and then you can add in whatever tag you want or sequence you want, and you can add in multiple ones of those. So you see I have that one here. I can add in another rule, so you can pretty much add in as many as you need to, which is really helpful, especially if you have like a subscription. So if they haven't made a payment, you can add in a rule that if they haven't made it, it will send them an email to make sure that they pay for that month's content. So that's a really fun feature to have as well. And then you'll go to save and exit, go to dashboard, go to products, and this is where you're going to add in your listing page and your whole checkout process. So go to create product. In this case, we're choosing digital, but you also have the physical option. So create product, and this is going to take you kind of through the whole process. It usually does not take too much time. What takes the most time is the creating the sales page. So you'll give your product name. So one thing to keep in mind is that if your course name is too long, it won't show up on the URL. So you see it's a really long course name. So it's not going to allow you to keep that URL. So if I try to go to the next step, it will say you need to have a URL less than 40 characters. So usually I just keep it the most minimal name I can. This label here is only for your purposes. And then also before you can actually start sharing your product, you'll want to make sure that you push it to live. So you just hit live, test mode, or disabled. So if you need to ever edit something, you can always just adjust that from here. And then you go to the next, which will take you to pricing. You can choose whatever currency you need to here. And then you'll set up your product price. And there's multiple options here. So if you want to do like a one-time fee, you're going to set that up here. So I don't know, say like $100 or something. You can also do a trial period option for that many days if you want. You can set your own thing there if you want. So like a year if you want. But I don't typically do that. For like a membership though, that might be something fun to do, or subscription. Let's see here. Go to next. And then this is what the name that will, so this name here will show up in your cart if you have multiple pricing options. So, what I talked about earlier. So you can kind of hopefully remember that. And then only one purchase at a time, which I wouldn't do that, especially if you have digital products. So I would only use this option if you have physical products. Go to save. And then if you have multiple payment options, this is where you're going to add in that second one. So add pricing option, split pay, or you can have the subscription here, or if you want, you can also have a set your own price. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do that. You have the option to do up to 6 payments. So we'll do, I don't know, 2 payments of like 7, I don't know, 55. So that'll be $110 total, which will be $10 more. Yep, just how I want it. And then this is where you're going to name it. Cost $10 more, and you'll see that later on the cart when I'm adjusting it or customizing it. You can also set a global quantity. So if you only want, like especially if you have like a subscription or something and you want only 100 people in that subscription, that is an option. Or if you have like a limited space course, that's an option, but I don't mess with that usually. You also have the option to calculate your sales tax. And ThriveCart isn't really responsible for like the financial part of it. It's just kind of a little trick where they can like automatically calculate that for you, just kind of for your simplicity. You can also customize your customer's payment option. So this is the email that they would get. So right after a purchase, this is what they would see. And this is just the preview here. So you'd have the date, your company name, all of this here, the invoice number, your logo, which you can adjust however you want. And I think that just pulls it from your account information or profile information if you have set that there. The only thing you can edit here is this text here. The rest is just kind of like the default how it shows up. So this is the course name here. So you kind of see here. That was kind of what I showed earlier. You can also change the font color if you want. So you can kind of play with some of the features, but it's not like super adjustable. But you can kind of play with that some. If you go to the next option, it'll take you to a bump offer. So if you have a bump offer, you can do that. That's something that you'll actually edit later. So we'll do, I don't know, $5. And then you also have the option to, that if they want that bump offer, they have to click to add it, or you can also have the option for them to click to remove it. So I would avoid doing the click to remove option, because that can kind of seem spammy. But it basically adds it to their cart and they have to remove it themselves. So it's a feature that can increase your sales, but at the same time, it can also look a little spammy. So I would be kind of cautious of that, but it is a feature if you want to use that. For the bump offer, you can edit it as digital or physical. I keep it digital for now, but that is an option later if you have physical products. And then now you're going to go to the processor. So this is where you're going to activate all of your accounts. I have PayPal and Stripe for this one. You're going to activate, and I choose the enhanced, and it'll kind of show you all of the bonuses for using that option. And then I just use my thing here. So you'll have set this up prior to kind of building your courses and such. So you've got that option, and then I won't do the PayPal right now, but I pretty much always do that. And then this is the affiliates option here. I believe this is only available with ThriveCart Pro. Kind of your basic ThriveCart. This is not a feature that's available to you from my understanding. So if you want affiliates to promote the product, you can adjust this here. So this is for this specific product. You'll have to set this up for every time. You can also do like the same or different pricing options here. You can do a percentage, like 40-50% commission fee, or you can do a fixed fee if you want them to maybe get, I don't know, $35 for every sale. You can do it that way, or you can do like a percentage. If you do a lot of sales or discounts, I would not necessarily do the fixed fee because that's can kind of show up as unfair to you. So I would just do the percentage. And then you can choose to manually pay them. So you see here, it's only available if you use PayPal. So, and then you have the like when commissions are due, and I would not set this to anything earlier than when like your money back guarantee is. So if you have like a 30-day money back guarantee, I would not do the commissions until it's 30 days or later. If it's a 14-day money back guarantee, you can pay after 14 days. So keep that in mind so you don't end up screwing yourself over. Let's do 14 days. And then you can adjust everything else here. So you can kind of see here that that's what that shows up as. So they would get $40 from a full price purchase of the course. If they buy the bump offer here, they get 40% commission, which would just be like $2. So that's how you can adjust that there. And then you can also set up options, additional features here. So this is where you can change the target URL, cookie duration, and sign up process. So you can have affiliates be automatically improved if they like sign up through the link that you give them. Or you can do manual approval. So that is an option that you have. You can also do first and last cookie. So if you're not aware of what that is, first cookie is where a customer clicks through your affiliate's link. If affiliate A is the first one they click on, the first cookie, if you use first cookie basis. So if your customer clicks on affiliate A's link, but doesn't buy then, but clicks on another affiliate's link, but buys later, affiliate A gets that commission. Now, if you do the last cookie commission, you can have affiliate A, affiliate B, affiliate C, and a customer clicks through each one of those links of those affiliates. But let's say they don't actually purchase your course or product until they click through affiliate C's link. Affiliate C gets that commission. So that's kind of a brief example of what the first and last cookie option is here. The cookie expiry. You can do it lifetime, which I would not recommend doing because that is a lot of tracking over time. I would do, I wouldn't necessarily do, because you can't do more than a year, but I would typically do 60 days to 3 months, because you also have to remember that the way you set this up kind of encourages your affiliates to either work harder or less harder. So if you only have a 7-day cookie, they're not going to really probably work that hard to get those sales. But if you have like a 60-day or a 3-month, they're more likely to work a bit harder to get sales with your product. So keep that in mind as you're setting that up. You can also set up like a target URL here. So if you want to take them just straight to the checkout page, this is what that one is. I think I have, this link here is directly on my website. That can be their target URL. So it will start tracking the affiliates link from my website when they click through that. So those are kind of some options to keep in mind as you're setting up your affiliates. But once you finish that, we'll hit next. And then now you have the fulfillment option. This is where you can take them to the next step. So this can get a little confusing. So you can obviously, what happens after purchases, you can just send their email or invoice. Once they purchase a product, you can send them to a specific URL. But for the courses, you're going to want to add them to the membership site. So you would do in your, oh, hold on. So So you fill in your support email. For me, my membership platform is ThriveCart Learn. So if you use like another course platform like Teachable, Kajabi, Kartra, whatever that happens to be, that is where you will adjust that. So you'll integrate that into ThriveCart, and then you'll choose your membership platform from here. For me, I only have ThriveCart Learn, and that's what I stick with, which is again is why I love ThriveCart, is because it has the course builder and the sales shopping cart platform built in. Love it. So that's again another reason why I recommend ThriveCart so much, is because it's kind of like a all-in-one thing for one price. And also the thing with like ThriveCart's pricing is like 1 year of SamCart, which is probably the most comparable to ThriveCart. 1 year of SamCart costs either more or very close to the lifetime fee of ThriveCart. So again, that's another reason why I just recommend ThriveCart over pretty much any other course platform, but that's just me. So let's see here. And then this is where you're going to choose which course you will send your student to. So for this one, it was this one here. So this is my course name. You can add tags if you want. I think that's only for your purposes. So that kind of shows up there. And then if you have like the bump offer, so this here is we're going to choose what the product is. So I have the traffic ebook there, and that's where I will add in that bump offer. So and then if you have a different success page, so like let's say once a student purchases my product and you have a success page on your own website, that's where you can add that in if you would like. So you can also just send them directly to like the login as well. So that's an option there. And then this is where you're going to create your checkout page. So you can browse gallery. You can also add in tracking. So if you have like a Facebook pixel, you can do that. Like your Google ID, your Google tag. And then I don't use this, but you also have that as well. So when you're ready to create your checkout page, you go to Browse Gallery, and this is just kind of all of them here. You also have just sales carts, which is kind of like the full page. So if you look here, you start at the top. You've got a button here. You can add in quite a few more elements on the sales cart option. And this would be very similar to how you would kind of build your course, the drag and drop editor, but now you have a little bit more freedom to make it look pretty. So it's kind of a fun option. And then it's going to have your little checkout box down here. So you've got that option. You can add in like any questions that you might have, like frequently asked questions. Usually works really good down at the bottom. But that is the sales cart option. You also just have the checkout page option here. So kind of depending on how you want to set it up, you've got that here. I do want to let you know that you can do multiple like sales pages or product listings for the same product. So if I want to create a sales cart for this product, I can do that. And then I can also create a new product listing to do just the checkout option. So you're not limited to just one product listing for every course or product that you have. So just do be aware of that is a feature. I'm going to see if we can actually just do one of the... actually, I'm just going to do a checkout now because it's a little bit quicker. You kind of get the idea of the drag and drop editor. So I'm just going to make it as easy as possible because I'm taking up quite a bit of your time. I don't want to take up too much more. But you also have like the embeddable option here, which you can use to just embed this into your website directly. So like if you have like a different page that you've created, you basically created your own landing page, you can add this checkout feature right on right into that page. So that is an option. You also have like a modal, or however you pronounce that, that will do like a kind of like a pop-up or like a scroll feature. So you've got that option, but for now I'm just going to do the checkout option. I'm just going to pick this first one, and then it's going to bring me to the editor. Again, this is very similar to how you would edit your course. You've got different blocks, you've got different elements, but that's how you would adjust that. Okay, so I had a little issue there with trying to upload my thing. So I had to reset the product, or like refresh the page, and unfortunately I didn't save that stuff there. So sometimes that happens, depending on, I have an old computer, so I think that's just my computer. But occasionally I will kind of run into that issue, so sometimes you may have to kind of reset that. But that kind of gives you an idea. So I'm going to show you what this looks like if you do the editing or the customizing of your sales page or your checkout page. So I'm going to add in some colors here. Do kind of a light pink. And then your cart color, that is this big block here. So I'm going to make that a little darker. And then you can just remove or add in decoration if you want. You can change the colors of these. If you would like, you can also just remove individual elements too. So you can kind of play with that some. I'm just gonna take that out for now. And then that kind of starts, sets up like your background visuals, and then you can start adding in elements or taking them away. So this is my test course, you get an idea of that. And then you can change your images here like you would for pretty much anything else. And you see it's really tiny there, but you can adjust that however you want. If you want like the border size there, image radius, if you want it to be like a square or a circle, you've got that option. You can also increase the size of that if you want. Obviously you don't want it to be like huge, but you can increase that a bit. I'm going to actually decrease the border so you can see the image more. But you can add in those little features if you want. Then you can edit in kind of edit whatever you want. And then I like to go to the elements option. This is where I typically add in most of my stuff. If you have like product info, you can drop that in here so you can kind of, let's see. I'll just, I know, we'll, this one. So that's kind of like the image I have here, or you can actually, I will do this one. That looks better. So you can do like a PNG file as well, which PNG is great because sometimes you can remove the background of the image if you would like. So you can see the background color here is my actual background. So you've got that option there. And then you can see here that it says Untitled Product 3. That's just going to, all that information is just going to carry over here. So if you want this like maybe towards the top, you can just drag and drop it. You can drop it on top too as well. So you can kind of play with that. If you have other images, just like you were to edit like the course itself, this is, you can edit these in the same way, but you have a little bit more limited space. So you can kind of play with that however you want. Again, you got dividers. You can add in a video. You can also add in testimonials, which is really, really helpful. If you've had, actually I'm gonna delete that because I don't like that drop there. So go back to here, try to put that, there we go, underneath it. So you can add in whatever image you want. Like if they have a logo or something, you can do that too. And then here you're going to change their name. Okay. And then you can just take their quotes and put it here. Or you can also put like a highlighted part of their quote here. So comprehensive and helpful. So if you like maybe a certain part of their quote, you can add that in there and do it that way. Again, you can also increase and decrease the size of their image. So that is an option there too. And And again, you can mess with font colors, all that fun stuff. You also have a buy link here, which you can, oh, hang on. Okay, sorry, I had just a couple things there. Something else that you can do too is you can add in like a column, and this is actually where I like to put in what they call sales. So this is, just drag and drop here to column 1. And so these are where you can list like your money back guarantees. So if you have like a 14-day refund, 30-day, 60-day, whatever you want. If it's an award-winning product, secure checkout, you can basically put any of these in here to show that, kind of build a little bit of trust with your audience. So I like to always pretty much do this one. And you can increase the image size of that as well. And then add in another one because I think they look cool. Do this one, maybe do 30-day money back. Increase the image size so you can kind of more visibly see it. Do another one. Let's see, this one. Make that a little bit bigger. So you can kind of play with that some as well. And you can also change the vertical alignment too, so it's like all the things are centered there. So kind of depends on where you have it set up in your page there. You've got some overlays as well, which is just kind of fun. So if you have like Valentine's Day, you can do hearts at the top. You can do New Year's, which is just like confetti and fireworks. And you also have the Christmas overlay too, so you can kind of adjust this later on throughout the year too if you have that, or if you have like a sale that's specific to a different time of the year. I'm trying to see if there's any other elements we didn't really have earlier. You've got the buy link, you've got bullets, testimonials, showed you that. You've got different cart steps, which you can also add things in here as well. So you kind of have this cart step here as well. So I would just delete that one, but you have that option there. And then you've got your product here. You can also try to think if we can add the image in there. You can add in the image there if you want. So actually you can't on that one, but you can just add it in separately. So let's say I want to do this one here. Ooh. Not sure why that one's not showing up. There we go. Okay, so you can just add in kind of like whatever image you have. And then for the contact information, I would always have them put in their name. That way you can kind of use that for customization purposes. So if you add them to your email marketing system, that way you've got their first name, so you can kind of personalize their emails to them. So that's kind of a feature that I would probably always do. If you do like physical products, like if you send out physical products, this is where you would then want all of this information in here. So like their full address, you would want that here if you have that as well. So I usually don't worry about that though. You can also add in custom fields, kind of however you want, but that is an option if you want that. So I usually just keep it as name and email because they receive their product by email. And then you have step 1, step 2, and the second step is just adding in their payment information here. So the more simple the process is, the more likely they are to actually finish buying. And then you can go to the success page here, and this will just show up like when they've made a purchase, this will show up as their success page. So it'll have the product, the price, if they got like at a discount, that will show up there. So you can kind of play around with that a little bit too. You can change colors and everything. And then support, that will automatically send to your support email that you connected. If you want this to be like a different color, different size, you can play with that a little bit. And you can add in other things as well. Or you can also do a funnel item here, and you can create like an upsell too. So, but you'd have to design like a separate upsell here, which I have not set that up yet, but that is an option here as well. So after they've purchased the product, you can do like an upsell feature. But that is kind of something that you can set up later. So when you're all done, you've edited all of your pages here. If your cart, you'll hit complete. And that will show up here. You go to behavior, and then you'll save and get URL. This is where you will have your product here. So you can just copy and paste that, and that will take you to your product. So copy and paste that, and this will show up the cart here. So this is kind of the front end of things here. This is what your customers see. So you'll enter your name, address, all of that. And then it will take them through the process. You can see here it says that it's in testing mode. So they won't actually be able to use this until you have pushed that to live. So if you go back to ThriveCart here, you can do that later. You can also set up the affiliate links here as well, which I did that earlier, but I had to kind of refresh so it didn't save, unfortunately. But that is an option here. So you can also set up your own tracking link. So if you go to the add tracking ID, you can, so let's say if I wanted to post this to Facebook, I would have this specific link here. So you can see ref or referral is Facebook. So you can track that in your Google Analytics and stuff. So that's a really easy way to kind of see how people are responding to your different links. So you can kind of test and experiment with what's working and what's not, and rinse and repeat all the things that are working. So that's kind of a easy feature that you can do as well. And you can pretty much add as many as you want. So you can do like Facebook, I don't know, Instagram, DM or something, and it will show up referral, Instagram, DM. So it's pretty simple, but this, you want to make sure that you recognize that. But that's essentially what that would look like here. So we'll go back to products, and you can see here it's in test mode. If you go to edit, and then you push it to live, save get URL. Same thing. I'm going to actually go back to here and refresh it, and that should disappear. So now this product is live. So that's how that works. I definitely recommend, go back to the right thing there. I definitely recommend ThriveCart just because the pricing option is so much better than pretty much like every other course sales and sales page platform combined. But definitely this is super easy to do. You really don't need any experience with building courses or anything. It's very easy with a drag and drop editor. So it's just definitely would recommend it. And here you can also create upsells, downsells. You can do like split testing if you want to compare different products. You can also create coupons, which is really fun to increase your sales as well. It's really easy to do. You just create a new coupon, whatever you want to use to identify your thing here, whatever your name is. You can do a fixed price or percentage. We'll just do 15. And you can choose the entire funnel, or you can just do the main product only. So you've got that option. You can also do like a set number. So if you go to usage, you can, let's see. So you can open like the discount code from a specific date, and you can end it at a specific date. You can also set these up as well. So if you want like maybe only 100 people to use it, you can limit it to that. And then here's where you can choose your products that this applies to. So if it's like a 15% off code to all of your, maybe like all of your Pinterest courses or blogging courses or whatever you happen to have set up, that's where you would choose which products it applies to. Or which ones it doesn't. And then you'll go to behavior, and if someone purchases with that coupon, then you can tag them with whatever tag or part of the sequence you want to start them in. So that is kind of a really easy way to increase your sales. and you can go to your dashboard to kind of track all of your sales as well. So really, really easy to create courses with ThriveCart. Definitely recommend just getting started and jumping in. It is, if you've ever wanted to create a course, it is super easy with ThriveCart, and because of the pricing model that they have, it's much easier. So you don't have to like rush to create a course within your first month so you can start actually making sales and making the membership worth it. You can just purchase ThriveCart once and you can use it for a lifetime, or like your lifetime. It's a lifetime license fee, so it's much more affordable than you think it is. And I definitely recommend. I will probably never choose another option or another platform to create my courses or sell products as well. So let me know if you do have any questions. You can leave them in the comment. I will leave a link to ThriveCart in the comment or the description as well. Again, if you do have any questions, I will try and answer them as quickly as I can. And hopefully this kind of covered everything you needed to know to start creating courses with ThriveCart. So hopefully this helped, and I look forward to seeing all of your progress and results. So thanks for watching.